Come on. There we go. Well, it says we're live. So, welcome. Live from the crossroads of America. 1 hour talk show, shooting with disabilities. We might cross topics and go to guns, politics, or anything else. Answer questions from the audience. Just put them in the chat box or email me at rickslifersic@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com. I got a Patreon page. All the info's down below there on YouTube. And what else have I got? Oh, yeah, the audio file will be up if you want to listen to it at a later date. And all of them are up. I think there's 215 or 16 of them up there I've done so far. They're on Podbean, Stitcher, and iTunes. So there we go. Let's see who we got in the room. First in was Jason Stewart. Then the Tennessee gun guy. Unknown user. Mystic Guns so far. I know this time of year it's New York Outcast is doing double duty. So there we go. I know it's been last couple of weeks. It's been slow because people are getting busy. Winter. Getting through winter and stuff like that, and all the other good stuff. So anyway, on my panel tonight, I've got Squib Load. How you doing?
Hey.
All right. And we got the New York Outcast.
Hello. Doing good. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Then we got the Kingpins back.
Hey, Rick. Good to see you, man. Glad to be back.
Yep. Then we got the one and only Patriot in the Dark.
Well, good it's evening now. Good evening, gentlemen and ma'am out there in Chatland.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see you,
here
David.
now.
We've been missing you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like I'm home now. So it's definitely good to be back with you guys.
If you didn't see, I was waving at you. But
All right.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
saw that.
okay.
Right. Have you guys anything you want to talk about? Because I do have a topic that I thought I'd ask. No?
Yeah, the only whatever we were talking about earlier, but whatever, if you want to do that last or first, or it don't matter.
Hey, Night Strike. Long time no see.
Yeah, I figured I'd make a live guest appearance.
Well, I appreciate it. All right. My topic actually is I think we touched on it lightly a couple of weeks ago, but I wanted to go into it much deeper, and because Squibload brought it up, and he was basically is how do you? It doesn't necessarily have to be. I know this is shooting with disabilities, but I mean, what recovering from a stroke? I mean, if it's shooting, how do you? I mean, what do you do? Isn't that what you were asking, Squib? Talk to me, Squib.
I mean, kind of.
Well, try to explain what you were after.
Coworker has a husband who had a stroke, and she pretty much has to work a full-time job and then go home and take care of him full-time. We didn't talk about shooting or anything, but she said it's really difficult. She's always tired because she's working here to provide for the family, and then she goes home and pretty much has to do everything for him. And I mean, I understand the show is mostly about shooting with disabilities, but we have crossed over and talked about other aspects of dealing with disabilities in daily life, or trying not to let disabilities stop you or slow you down, or talking about the Americans with Disabilities Act or things like that. So it's the closest thing I could think of as something I could ask to discuss, because with the exception of arthritis and my eyesight getting a little bit worse, getting older, I really don't have any input for the show. But if it's something that nobody really knows a lot about, or I mean, I guess I was approaching it from a home health care standpoint, so maybe it's not even a viable topic.
Oh, okay. I know what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, that's got to be tough if your significant other or wife, husband, girlfriend, boyfriend, what or whatever gender you wish that person to be, um, has had a stroke and you're working and having to take care of them.
You've got mail.
That's got to be really, really tough, in my opinion. I don't know if I could do it, to be honest with you. Doesn't the, it's going to be, is there programs out there where somebody could go to get help?
You've got mail.
Or is that dependent on government too much?
Well, some medical plans and stuff have rehab kind of issues. I know very little about people that have strokes. I had a grandfather that had a stroke, and when it was about the time he would have, he was really old, a step grandfather. So I didn't really know him very well, but he went into a home and stuff. And so, there's a lot of different things, but that could deal with any disability. You get in an accident and, lose your use of your arm or your foot or, anything, there is that learning curve. Obviously a stroke is a little bit more than just, getting over something physical, but that huge stress on the family and all that kind of stuff. I'm living proof of all that, it is very stressful for the, significant other. And a lot of times that does kind of sever a lot of things. So, it depends on, your relationship and all that kind of stuff and how much of a jerk you've been or whatever. In
True.
my case,
True.
But I'm a lot nicer now. But.
Yeah, but the person who's had a stroke, but not even a stroke, some other disability, basically what you got to do is I'm trying to think of the correct term, like rewire your brain to do something, train it to do something different.
That's
Yeah.
That's a big.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying you have to. That's one of those reasons that I always try to be that positive person, which doesn't always happen. And I like picking on Squib, but that's it's all in jest. Because you have to. You can't. It's easy to. It doesn't matter. Anybody out there, you have those days that you'd rather just go back to bed, or you'd rather sleep in, or you'd rather do something else than what you have to do. And it's one of those things that you have to dig deep and just do it. And that's obviously Squib's got the same kind of background where you don't allow something to hinder you from doing something. So you got to adapt with whatever you're doing. Just like we were talking about earlier. But with a stroke and that kind of thing, if it gets into where you just physically can't move. That's still a mindset thing. I have a cousin right now that has Huntington's, and she basically she can't move, and she's being, fed and all that kind of stuff, and basically she can move her eyes, but she can't talk, she can't do anything, and that kind of thing. Obviously, things happen and it drags us down, and we got to, you still have to push for it. You got to find something happy with whatever you're doing. And if, like me, before I got into firearms, when I started going blind, that was one of the big things I was drawn to, is I had to have, that hobby to focus on. So I'm sure that, if the person like fishing or something like that, obviously you don't let them jump in a boat by themselves or anything, but you can get, they like going out on trails or something like that. There's ways of kind of still doing things that bring them pleasure, and you got to focus on pleasure too sometimes. And I was all over the place. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it is. I mean, I know it's stuff. I mean, I don't know if this woman has insurance, health insurance, which will, or he has health insurance, or it would help cover a lot of this stuff that help he might need while she's at work and stuff like that. And also, in there, I mean, there's a stroke. I know a stroke, no matter what kind of stroke it is, it's bad. But there's people who, when they have a stroke, are practically totally, the whole left side or right side of their body is completely, shut down. They can't move it. Then there's others that is very
Yeah.
mild, and they seem to recover.
People react differently.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead. I
No,
was
go
just
on.
saying people react differently. Sorry. Go ahead, Rick.
No. I was about finished anyway. So that's what I was saying. There's different, as they act differently. I mean, but it's all come. But if you're trying to recover from something like that, I mean, a good example. I mean, I didn't have a stroke or lose anything, but like when my left hand got all messed up, as I've told everybody, I had to learn to shoot right-handed, and you have to now. I mean, honestly, when my hand got messed up and I had pins running through it and everything, and it was in this sort of cast type thing for 8 weeks, I think it was. I mean, and as I told everybody, I am totally left-handed. I do everything left-handed, and I mean everything. So, like, without going into too great detail, when I went to the bathroom, I had to learn to use my right hand, and so I had to rewire my brain to do that. Now it comes natural, like shooting my gun right-handed. It's more natural now for me to do that than it is to use my left. Because I rewired it myself to do it. How I did it, I just kept doing it until I got it right. So.
Well, all I can say to that is I'm left-handed, but I can shoot left to right-handed. So that's all I got.
Oh. Yeah, I was just using that.
I can't write with my right hand. I've tried before. It's just I can probably do it if I apply myself and I actually practice. But right now it really is awful. I don't write with my right hand.
Well, same with me. I use my left hand to write. I mean, when that was down,
right,
I used to go into the bank because they used to send my disability check, the state disability check. They used to send it to in an actual check form to my house. So I had to take it to the bank, and they would go sign the back of it, and I would hold up my left hand. I said, "How?" And I said, they said, "Sign it with your right." I said, "I can't." So I would sort of like scribble something. So, but I'm saying, if you lost your left hand, Night Strike, you would have to rewire your brain, as you said, keep doing it with the right hand to learn how to do it.
I would have to practice more with my right hand. Yeah, it's just I can write a little bit with the right hand, not a lot, but it's really awful. And I'm pretty sure if I apply myself, I can actually go and do it. It's just getting that mindset to go and write with both hands instead of just one or the other.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's one of the reasons we do this. I mean, before I jumped on here and I've been around for a while. It's I know how I thought somebody tells me I can't, I'm going to do it twice as bad or whatever. So once I got on here to talk, the main reason I even did any of the videos, besides telling you guys to wise up and do better descriptions of what you were doing, so I wouldn't have to look at 100 videos, was it was making those interactions with people that said, well, what, you can do that, and they're in a situation where they needed some kind of push, or they were at a dead end, and they thought there's nothing I can do. I can just sit here and watch videos, and they can take that extra step and do something. So to be not motivating or any of that kind of nonsense, but just know that the people, persevere with whatever happens. So, I mean, I don't know. Without getting too deep into all that stuff, but the whole reason that we're talking about this stuff is so that people that happen on this can say, well, wait, there's a whatever the issue is, you can get by it, and you can actually do things that you like or you learn to like, because there's a lot of things that I do now that I wouldn't have thought about years ago, but it's, hey, I'm old now, so I can do that.
Yeah. Oh, well, just to add a little bit of lightness to the conversation, Jason Stewart said I was disabled, took off my wedding ring, and I was cured.
Well, that I think he meant he was financially disabled.
Yeah. Well, I haven't. I don't think my ex-wife ever listens to this, anyways. But I can understand where he's coming from. No. I mean, my ex-wife's fine. You got to deal with. I mean, I know it's totally off topic, but since I had kids or children, they're adults now, with my ex-wife, she. I mean, she's in your life forever because of the kids, basically.
Don't get Squib started.
I know it's totally off topic, but I just wanted to mention that.
Well, Rick, this is your show. You can get off topic as much as you want.
I know.
I think wasn't that Jeff Goldblum where he says he's always looking for the next Miss X so and so.
Yeah.
What didn't he say that in a movie though?
Yeah, that's where
It
was Jurassic Park where he was.
Yeah, looking for the next Mrs. Whatever his name was.
I don't.
Yeah. That's what I keep doing. I keep looking for the next Mrs. X. But I haven't found one yet. So. Yeah. Oh, Andrew Faulkner said this last year I started shooting pistol offhand, and I've got pretty good. Yeah. Basically, that's it. I mean, you just got to practice, and your brain learns that, okay, that's what I'm doing. And you got to do it. I mean, what I need to start learning to do, believe it or not, because even though I told you I do everything left-handed, I'm right-eye dominant. I only figured that out when I was shooting. Because this funny is, like, if I want to, like, you shoot with both eyes open, so I don't have a problem. But when I was learning to pick up my sights, I couldn't do it. So my instructor said, she said, cover your left eye and do it that way. I have to put my hand on it because I can close my right eyelid, but I can't close my left eyelid. I can't do it. But I guess I could train my brain to do it eventually.
We lost David.
Yeah, so I have to do that now when I'm at the shooting range, and I see that I'm missing my targets and I'm not doing something. I'll put my hand over my left eye, or I just have all I could see is the right thing, and then my brain picks it back up again. Then I'm good to go again. I just hope that doesn't happen in a defensive situation. Well, hold on, let me practice for a couple of shots first. We got Single Shots joined us. Who else has joined us? Two Gun Kitty. Saw some other. Did I see some other gun-loving grandpa? Sabrina's here, of course. Night Strike's joined us, but he's doing double duty. Who else we got?
Hi, Sabrina. I had to throw that in there real quick.
No problem. Yeah. And Kingpin's joint come back. Okay. So I did have one of our subscribers sent me a package today. It was on my doorstep.
Nice.
He actually sent me an email and he says, I've been notified by UPS your package is delivered.
Nice.
And so when I looked, he sent me some. He sent me some Spear Go Dot 380 ammo. So,
Man.
so I thought very nice. And a box of Winchester, regular, full metal jacket for plinking. So that's great. Okay, somebody loves me.
Along the lines of that, obviously doing things disabled. I brought up the gunsmithing, or if you have to change something, if you have dexterity issues with one hand or something, and you have to, you're doing something with your firearms or daily life or whatever. I'm doing that refinishing stuff. Now I kind of thought about it because last week, because say you order a Riker grip, and you have to put that that spacer in there, or change it from the key mod to Picatinny or vice versa, whatever.
Yeah.
Do you guys set up different things? Like, I used to use like T handles with Allen keys, your Allen wrenches and stuff. Obviously using a T handle is a lot easier if you have arthritis than, just a small, one that's not ball end or whatever.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
Some tools work better, obviously. You get the, a better, whatever, I don't know, your wrenches or something, there's padding, or it's a little bigger, some of the jeweler screwdrivers, right? Some people have to use, I don't know, magnifying glass, the arms that have used to be like a light, but it's got the magnifier on it, for small things. So any of that kind of stuff, do you ask everybody about that? See if they have any suggestions.
Talking about that,
I know like T handles are something that's really nice, especially like ball end ones, so that you can.
That's something I need to get, because I've noticed as time goes by with my arthritis in my hands, it gets even worse. I've also looked. I'm going to have to buy screwdrivers, or put something on my screwdrivers to make a thicker handle I can get hold of, because it's hard to grip them now with my hands. Some days, other days I can do it. Some days I can't. I have trouble opening doors that are turn knob. I'm better off with a handle that goes up and down. Those like open a door that has one of those, you turn it with like that. I can't do it.
The lever style. One place that if you are looking for different things, the accessibility stuff or whatever, pans that have bigger handles or any of that stuff. One place, I don't know how good they are. I've ordered from them long ago, was that Maxi Aids. You can find that online. They have obviously an enormous website and a book and all that kind of stuff, catalog, but you can find a lot of different things for, amputees, arthritis, just old people with telephones with huge buttons, whatever, talking things and that kind of stuff. So if there is something that, that even if it's somebody that they have issues because they can't play cards anymore, they have the oversized cards, and things for people with obviously dexterity or vision or any of that stuff. So
you
might want to check that out.
I even my medication that I take, I have it now with just a pop-off lid. Those child-proof ones.
Yeah,
I have a hell of a time opening those with my fingers nowadays. So all my medication comes in just pop off now. Makes life easier.
And mine have the tops that you could. It's child lock on one side, but then if you take it off and flip it upside down, it just screws on the inside. It makes it a bigger thing, I guess.
Yes. I think my company, because I get my medication every 3 months in the mail, and I've noticed lately a few of my medications come with that. So I think they're changing over.
Yeah, it just makes the lid twice as big, because it sticks
Yeah,
out
yeah,
instead of
yeah.
going over the
Some
top.
of my stuff coming with that.
Yeah.
So how important is your state of mind and your surroundings? Because I'd imagine that, like Patriot, when you first started going blind, or Rick, when you first got your back injury or your arthritis and stuff, or anybody who has any type of ailment or disability, when it first becomes a part of your life, I'm sure that there's some form of depression, like, now what am I going to do? And then eventually, obviously, you guys get over that because you've moved on. But how is important, like you're talking about right now? You come to your pill bottle. Now, you got your writing done, you got your bathroom break down. Now the pill bottle's an issue. Keeping that positive mindset and keeping that good energy when new things come up that you have issues with.
I mean, and that's it. You have to keep that
Yeah.
positive attitude that you can do it. You can find a solution to it. I mean, even today with me, I can say there's times when I still get depressed when I think, oh God, what am I going to do now? But I know I quickly get over it because I normally find a way. You've got to adapt to what your ability allows you to do. I mean, what really hurt me, well, didn't hurt me physically, but mentally, was having to give up motorcycles. I
Yeah,
love riding motorcycles.
that was going to be my next part of the question, is when something comes up that you have an issue with, like, how did you go about making that decision that motorcycles aren't for me anymore? I can't do it anymore. And how did you deal with that once you first made that understanding in your mind that it was over?
Uh,
Yeah,
well,
that's
I
a good
mean,
one.
it came to me because I kept riding even with my bad back, and I kept dropping the damn thing because, like, if I came to if my back when I came to a traffic light or a stop sign, and I put my legs down, if my sometimes my back would give out, and I still had I had my really bad left hip too at the time, so sometimes one of either my back would hurt so bad I just have to let go of the damn thing because I can't stand up. So once I realized I can't ride the damn thing anymore, how I made this, I just made the decision one day. I said I can't ride it anymore. I can't ride it. And all my motorcycle friends, we went out one night. It was luckily it was during the winter, so we didn't always ride. And I was driving, and I told them, I said, my riding days are over, guys. And they said, why? And I explained it to them. They all felt sorry for me. Well, not sorry in a bad way, but they understood where I was coming from. And I just, it, and watching them. Then when spring came, and I was watching them riding their bikes because back then a lot of people I rode with were in, we were in a 12-step program, so I would be there, getting in my truck, and they would be taking off down the road on our motorcycles. That took me a long time to get over that. But I still like motorcycles. If I see one, I'll stop and look at it, and and that kind of stuff.
Now they
And
sell the slingshots, I believe they're called now. They're like a kind of three-wheel motorcycle thing. A lot of people are getting
yeah.
into.
I mean, I
And
think
they've come down a little bit in price
yeah,
lately too, so
yeah.
might be something to look into. And still got to
Anyway,
be
I
fun.
showed the
As
motorcycle.
long as you're riding, it's fun.
I showed the motorcycle. Got rid of most of the stuff, but I still got my leather jacket here and my motorcycle helmets and stuff like that. But and I still got some of my motorcycle tools I used to have. But the motorcycle and all the parts I had for it, because it was an old bike, so I used to collect parts, keep it running, and I got rid of all that.
That's funny.
What?
Because I used to do cars and all that stuff. I had the old Chevy 2s, and the day I retired, I bought a house, and I slowly was getting rid of all the old cars just because I didn't have room for them, and obviously I wasn't able to drive them. I kept my truck, and I had SSL Camino, and I had just put open headers on, all sorts of stuff. Anyways, that was my thing, and I had the tools and all that stuff. I finally had the time to work on cars because I wasn't traveling as much, and then I couldn't, but so I started selling them, and I realized I was home over a couple months in the summer by myself. My daughter and her mom had taken off, and I would drive it back and forth down the side street that my house is on, and burnouts and all that stuff. Just I'd go out and I'd start it up, and that's probably why none of my neighbors ever talked to me. It was that crazy blind guy out there starting that car up, but I ended up selling it and that kind of stuff. But I still have a small block as a table in my garage, and I've got 400 heads sitting up on the. I got parts all over the place and stuff like that. But it's definitely difficult because I can't obviously just go out and drive, but.
I mean, as somebody said, you get one of those three. I could get it. If I got another motorcycle, it'd have to be a 3-wheeler right now, but it would have to have. I couldn't have a normal motorcycle seat because of my back. I need, like when I sit in my truck, you got the back of the chair help supporting my back. On a motorcycle seat, you don't have that.
So there's a couple different models of that. There's one out that's kind of like reminds me of a snowmobile seat. It's a lot wider and bigger, comfier. I'd assume. I would need to get one. And there's another one that you actually sit in and drive, almost like a car, but it's
that would work better for me. If I got another motorcycle, I mean, also it would have to have, a good backrest on it, basically.
I've got a tandem recumbent bike where you sit back. It's like you're in a lazy chair and you pedal and your feet are out front, and big old, you sit side by side, so it's not like you're riding behind somebody. So you can ride around, and I ride with my daughter and stuff. You can sit there and talk, and it's got cup holders, all sorts of weird old people stuff. So, but those kind of seats, because you're actually sitting in a chair, it's kind of and you can adjust them, whatever.
Yeah, that's basically what I need is sort of like a chair on the motorcycle to ride one today. But don't get me started, get me dreaming, please. I've given them up, and that's it. So.
Well, all of us, everybody's going to have to come to that realization sooner or later, whether we go blind, we go deaf, we lose an arm, or time just finally catches up to us. All of us are going to have to make that decision that, okay, I can't use power tools anymore. I can't fly a helicopter anymore. I can't bungee jump anymore. I can't be a lion tamer. I mean, every human being is going to have that spot in their life where they cross over and their body starts to deteriorate.
Yeah,
hot sauce.
Sounds like you've been holding out some stories.
Yes. Wow, thanks, Kingpin. I'm all depressed now.
Sabrina says humor is a great tool to cope with disabilities.
Well,
you can do and not what
that is a huge thing. Because that's one of the things I do is I'll joke and I'll make fun of myself more than especially because sighted people are so uptight when you meet them for the first time. They you walk in the room and they hold their breath, or just whatever, because they think I don't know, they think they can catch it or something. So you definitely got to make fun of yourself. And I'm the first one to make blind jokes. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that they think they can catch it. It's that they're uncomfortable because they don't know how to act. How many blind people did you know before you went blind?
Exactly. Right? I didn't know a single one. And then once I'm blind, I see them all over the damn place.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
And because of that, they want to treat you. Everything is all the same, but now they're afraid. Do I offend you, or is there something special I'm supposed to do, or am I, And if their only experience is with somebody who isn't anything like you, they're going to think all blind people are
Yeah,
You know,
and so
so-
I do apologize for anybody that meets another blind guy that's not, doesn't make fun of himself and stuff. So don't. That's why I said, if you got a question, ask it.
You walk up to some blind person you've never met before in your life, and you just start cracking blind jokes, and he's like, "What the hell, man?" It's like, "Well,
Sure.
Patriot does. I thought all
Yeah.
you guys were like this."
Yeah, start cracking jokes, and he goes to insensitive back.
But that's the thing. You got to, because I mean, I never like you said, I'd never met a blind person before. Only in the movies, and in the movies they're either superheroes or homeless or some nonsense, banging some tin cup on a street corner. But yeah, so it's definitely, if you got any questions, don't think it's going to offend me. At least me. I don't. Everybody else is different, but if there's anything I can do, that's why I throw up the stuff about the helping out veterans and stuff, because people come back and people don't ask questions and there's nobody to talk to. You can go down bad directions really quick. So,
Oh, absolutely.
if you got a question, ask me. I don't. It's not going to offend me. So.
Yep. Well.
What I found with giving stuff up, not because my body can't necessarily do it anymore. It's been more of a time or money or change to my lifestyle that doesn't really involve a disability, or it's a change to maybe my I guess my mental outlook on things because I'm older. Maybe you could say it's wisdom, or maybe you just say it's lack of interest anymore because I've got an older mind. But when I've given something up, especially something I've really enjoyed or I've held on to for a long time, or I've spent a considerable expense on over years or decades, I found that the thing that I guess helps me to adjust is the amount of time and other resources that it frees up for the things that I still do. Not that I still can do, but that I still do. Or maybe there's something I used to do and I haven't had the resources to do it. I really liked it, but I haven't had it because I was doing this. And now that I've given this up, I can get back to that, and it's kind of fun. So I think that if you have the outlook that you understand that because you're getting older, you physically can't do this, or because you've been injured or had some other disability, you can't do this as well or as often, or maybe you really aren't in a position to. There are so many other things that you can do. There's so many things that you can still learn how to do. It's only impossible for you to do if you've given up on yourself, I guess you could say. I mean, you've got to be practical. Yeah, I mean, you've got to. But I see people get lazy. They get lazy, and then they want to whine that they're lonely, or they want to whine that they're bored, or they want to whine that they just can't do anything fun anymore. But then when you suggest to them, hey, have you tried this? This doesn't require you to leave the house. Or have you tried this? This is something that anybody can learn. And it's, no, I don't want to do. I just want to sit here and bitch. And I just have trouble having sympathy for those people because you're offering them a reasonable way to satisfy their, I guess, maybe their depression or their outlook on things, and they just don't want to take it. So at the end of the day, it comes down to personal responsibility. Now, the thing that would bother me the most is if I suffered a stroke, not necessarily the physical effects, but on my mind. I may not realize that because I've seen some people after a stroke, their personality changes, and they don't have control, and they don't realize that what they're saying or what they're doing, or they don't have control over their emotions. And I might go from being a person who says, you're not going to knock me down, to being a person who gives up. That would be the biggest thing for me to have to overcome, or would be totally helpless to do anything about, is if a stroke affected my mind, or anything, any sort of injury, like next time I get in a motorcycle wreck or something like that, if it affected my mind to where went from a person who's determined to a person who's a quitter, that would be something that would, I don't even know how to deal with that, because I wouldn't realize it. I would have I would have the the brain damage, I wouldn't realize what I was doing.
The one thing I would suggest with that is, like we meet here every Wednesday, right? Or most Wednesdays. You want to keep people around that stay positive or are a certain way. I mean, normally you kind of attract that kind of people. And if you have people that, or at least one person that you can count on that knows, hey, I'm not the guy that just, you say I can't do it, I'm not going to do it or whatever, that knows how you are, and they can kind of not really poke and prod you, but, give you that support, because everything you need support. There's little things that you can do, all by yourself without any support. You need people to help out by watching your kid or whatever it is. So I would suggest you look around, in your daily life. Is there people that are around you? They know you. They know that what you do in certain situations. It might be that you don't have somebody like that. You probably should look, because in case something does happen, having that family member or those people that say, hey, let me show you some pictures of what you used to do, or whatever. There's different, I'm not going to say triggers, but different things that can obviously help out. I mean, I'm not an expert or anything, but that helped me, because I like stop smoking, right? I don't drive, right? So I would have to either order or get a driver to take me up to go shopping, right? So what did I do to stop smoking? I told everybody I stopped smoking, and they know that I've got an ego too big to relapse and say, oh, hey, can you pick me up a pack of smokes, because I can't drive up there or something, right? So there's different things that you can, I don't know, but changing your mental state, it you got to have that support, I guess. I don't know, maybe that helps. So anybody out there, if I beg you to bring me a pack of smokes, don't. That's been like 5-6 years now, I think. So
yeah, I think I'm coming up on 10 years giving up smoking.
I haven't saved any money though. It all goes into other fun things.
I think for me it's about 13.
Yeah.
So.
And yeah, I mean, I gave up. I mean, I done it for health reasons. Nothing else stopped me. Price didn't stop me. I don't know
about the idea though.
Living up in the Northeast, up where I was living, cigarettes were, when I quit smoking, they were up to almost $8 a pack. And I think when I left Rhode Island, they were up to $10 a pack. Most of that was all taxes, of course.
Well, I had been meaning to quit anyways, but the thing that really got me to actually quit was the brand I always smoked. They stopped making that. They brought it back since, but I'm not going back to smoking now that they brought it back.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. Go on.
But the point is, I stopped and I went cold turkey. I didn't use any of that gum or any of that medication or anything. I just stopped smoking. That doesn't mean when I smell a nice cigarette that I don't want one every now and again.
No, I do after all this time too.
Yeah, you still get the feeling where you want a cigarette, but you don't smoke it because you got enough willpower to say, yeah, probably best not to.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway, I didn't mean to divert it over to smoking or anything. But
no, but that's what happens.
You just need that support.
Well, no, but
that would help. You know what I mean?
It does segue into a something that might be considered a good point, and that is if you do substitute something you used to like or used to do with something else, make sure it isn't harmful. If you used to smoke and you quit smoking and then you just pick up drinking, well, that didn't help, did it? I mean, if you already drank, I guess it didn't matter, right? If you substitute something that is helpful and productive and relaxing, but it's not harmful, or it's not maybe to some extent a vice that's going to break you at some point. I know some people get divorced Or some people have their kids grow up and move out of the house, and they substitute that spouse or that child for a pet. It's a pet. It's not a person. It's good to have the companionship, but it's still not a person. And you'll notice that person will start to become this loner, and they just sort of they treat their animal as it's better than they treated their children, better than they treated their spouse, and they kind of keep to themselves, and they start to lose touch with people. It's the same thing with video games. If all you did all day long was play video games that were online and you never actually went out and talked to people and met people, that's not good for you because you don't have that physical interaction. That doesn't mean pets and video games are bad. It doesn't, but there are some people that when they do look to replace that void in their life, they look for something that isn't going to help or isn't productive or isn't, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. I guess too much of anything is not good for you.
So trading fast cars for fast women was a bad idea.
Well, see, the fast cars
maybe just a little bit.
Women. Yeah, when I used to be a car guy, and when I gave up cars, I thought it was going to be so difficult because it was such a big part of my life, dude. It felt like a weight was lifted off my back.
It is
my
until
goodness.
You pull up to the light, and then you hear them, and everybody still knows. They used to drive by and see the car sitting here, so now they drive by and that's the only thing. But then I just go in and play with my safe.
I think it's you know what it is. I think it's because you lost your sight and you couldn't drive. If it was,
yeah.
I'm not thinking another damn dime into this gas guzzler. One more day, it would have been different.
If I was like my dad and traded my '69 Camaro for a Volkswagen Bug because I got too many speeding tickets, yes, I understand that. Wow.
Yeah. So there we go.
So what was your question for the trivia question for Saturday?
Oh yeah, but now you got to remember I done this last Saturday. So when I asked this question, you got to remember it was last Saturday.
Oh,
so
I remember now.
The question was, the actual original question was, in Patriot in the Dark's latest firearm project, what was the firearm he was working on? Now you got to go back to last Saturday to understand, because I believe he's put out another one since then. So that's all I'm going to say. And email me at rickslifeasiseeit@gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com with the answer. So
I have something funny about a giveaway. I sent out a package, and they had sent me their address, right? And so I print their address out and I give it to my driver, right, to write on there and drop it off, because they were going up that way, and waited and found out. He sent me a picture, I guess, because I came as an image of I guess they had wrote the address down wrong and didn't have the zip code or something. But they finally got the package, so I was happy that they got the package, but it was like, days upon days, and it felt like, man, I got to send them something else because this, but they finally got the package. But it was a driver that, well, he was in the Army, so I can't really fault him for that. He didn't write it in crayon.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I was reading the chat. What was something you was talking about? Oh yes. How's your have any news on your other project in the New Orleans area?
I got one email. And they asked about it, and I replied and kind of gave them an overview, and then I never heard from them again. So, yeah, it's I mean, if there's anybody that's in the area that wouldn't mind even driving down there, because I I know people like in Shreveport and stuff, but nobody that's disabled. But if you are disabled and you're in that area or in Texas that wouldn't mind a drive down to New Orleans, just to go to the range, and it's not anything that takes any time. Nobody's, it's not a big ordeal, but it would help out with a project and would be great. Just shoot me an email, patriotinthedark@gmail.com.
Do you know JH586 and Chico Wise and like the Georgia shooting connection? Those
I know Chico.
I know he doesn't live in New Orleans, but I mean I know they got a lot of Southern connections down there. Maybe he might know somebody for you.
Okay.
He does have his son Carter is on the autism spectrum, so he he has a little bit of a circle around him of people with certain disabilities, so he might know somebody.
That would be great. Because if anybody reaches out, just let them know or let me know. That would be great. Yeah, I'll have to get a hold of him.
Yeah, that would be. So, all right. Anything else? So, did you order one of those?
Oh, the Riker grips? I haven't done that yet because I realized I do not own a firearm that they would fit on right now. Because I mean there is obviously a forend, but that's as of right now I don't have anything that would fit on. So I'm going to either have to buy some more or figure something else out.
You got an excuse to go buy one now.
Yeah, I mean, do you have anything that would fit on? Because I think that rail's got to be on the bottom.
I think, wouldn't it fit on my my M&P 1522?
Yeah, if you got a rail on the front.
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, G-Web said, if it will help out Patriot, I will take an all-expense paid trip to New Orleans to go shooting.
Okay. Especially if you're in a wheelchair, that would work. You have to be disabled, so.
Yeah. But
I gotta put.
But as he was saying, didn't he say there was a way to if you can get a rail onto any firearm you got, then you can attach it to that rail.
Yeah. So I mean, I've got some pistols I could use it on, but and they I guess on their site they do mount them to shotguns and other things, but currently that I just don't have anything that matches up as of right yet, but I will, I'm sure, once I get done with my stuff.
Find it, did I put it in the trash? Let's see if I got it. Where is it? Is this it? Oh yeah, I was telling the guys in the morning chat, or what's called it. Let me find it. It's in the local paper here. Oh yeah, down at my place where I go shooting, the Snellville Conservation Club. They got their first annual turkey shoot on Sunday, March 1st, and it goes. The hand match starts at 11. Then the big closed match starts at 3, and first prize is a whole beef.
Man,
you're
gonna be down there?
Yeah. Now I don't have a 5-foot long shotgun. You can do it with a regular shotgun, but most people have a shotgun that's about 5 foot long.
Get a pack of zip ties and just zip tie 2 shotguns together.
Hey, zip ties work, man.
Yeah, but I was saying now about 400 or 500 people will show up to that shoot. It gets packed. I mean, it has other stuff going on. They got the kitchens open up, and they got grilled burgers and all kinds of stuff cooking and food going on, and but shooting is everybody's shooting goddamn shotguns. It gets loud. You need to take earring protection with you. You know, and I went last year with my cousin because he entered, so he didn't win anything. But I'm just saying that's the kind of stuff that's going on around here. I mean, they use 12. They use. I mean, it's 12 gauge. I don't know if my shoulder could take the pounding of shooting, for an hour or so. Because you just don't do one. I mean, you buy. It has. I'm trying to think. How many does it have? I think it's 15 lines. I think it's 15. Where the targets are sitting up there 50 yards away. So you shoot 6 shots at a time. But you pay for each time you shoot those 6. So it can get expensive. Plus, I mean, you got to as I said, I don't know if my shoulder can take that pounding of 12 gauge hitting it all the time.
Do they tell you what you have to shoot though? I mean, can you shoot birdshot or target?
Oh no,
and all that
they supply the ammo.
Oh.
And it's like, I mean, the shot inside, they're real tiny little.
You've got mail.
Like pebbles. I mean, they're real small. I mean, it's hard to describe how small they are because I was trying to explain it to the guys today. What happens when you go in and you buy, say you want to go on the 15th line, on the 15th one, they have about, I don't know how many people go in, but they keep doing it until everybody's done. But when you do it, you every time you buy your round, they give you a piece of wood. It's about 8 inches by about 6 inches, and you put a cross on it anywhere you like with a penknife. You scratch it in there, but it can't be over 2 inches. It has to be a small cross. Then you circle that cross with a marker where you can see it, and then it gets set up 50 yards out in front of you.
G-Woes has a question for you there, Rick.
Yeah. When you were younger, you could take a longer pound than. Yeah, I could. Yeah. Yeah, but the only problem with that is you can't do it with any other gauge because all they supply is 12 gauge, or as the English say, 12 bore, So. Yeah, so that's about it, really. So I gave my question out, didn't I?
Yep.
So we're looking good there. So trying to think what else I got going on. Anything? No, you guys got anything you want to talk about before we wind her up?
If I could, real quick, I just put a link out in the chat for the Crazy Scotsman's channel. If you go check out that video and then just check out through his channel, there's the Mr. Holster giveaway. You have till midnight on the 22nd to get your entry in. It's $10, and you can win a complete 7.62 by 39 AR. And it's only $10 to enter. Each $10 gets you another entry. So, however much you can spend, each $10 will get you an entry. Go check that out. Then there's also a bunch of other stuff, like a ton of other stuff that people have put together. There's a Dylan press for the reloaders out there, and just I can't even list all the rest of the stuff in the other GoFundMe prize package. So go check out that video. Go down in the description. All the stuff is there, and then you can search through Scotsman's channel and find the details about other stuff if you need more help. But go check that out. Mr. Holster passed away the other day. I think it was yesterday. So they're trying to raise up some money to send to his wife and help him take care of things. So check that out, please.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. Anything else? Anyway, Squib, you got any shout outs or plugs you want to do? Talk to me, Squib. Hit the mute button. He must be working.
No.
Okay. New York
He
out
fell
there.
off the roof.
No, I'm all set. Have a good night, everybody.
No, I appreciate it. Patriot in the Dark.
Oh, sure. Just if you would check out that hashtag, help 22 veterans, number 22, SMK. I haven't followed it in the last few days. I don't know if there's the giveaway still going on or not, but check that out. He's got a video, and a bunch of people have. Reach out and talk to people. And if you do come across anything that is shooting related that helps out anybody with disabilities, be it arthritis or whatever, if you could forward me any of those links to patriotinthedark@gmail.com or Rick's Life as I see it @gmail.com, I would appreciate it.
All right. You got anything, Night Strike?
Other than the normal stuff, like check out guntube.org, check out GunTube Chamber if you need to live stream on YouTube, and check back next week for the next exciting episode of Rick's Life as I see it.
And don't forget, 9 o'clock Tuesdays.
Tuesday, hit or miss, Tuesday night, 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Yep. And Kingpin, you got anything? Talk to me, Kingpin. Hit the mute button. He must have walked away.
No, there's a bunch of noise around out in this world over here that I had to get taken care of before I came. Sorry about that. Now, everybody have a great night. Good to see you, Rick. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Glad you're back. And I want to say thanks to everybody in the chat who was there, who showed up. I didn't call your name out or recognized you, or just want to know I do appreciate you coming by. I really do. And I'll be back on Saturday at 3 p.m. with the weekly roundup. So also, guys, if anybody's got any questions they want either for this show or Saturday, just email me at rickslife as I see it @gmail.com or spottedrick@gmail.com, and I can bring them up and use them for topics. So there you go. All right, I'm going to say good evening. I'm going to have my usual Wednesday grilled cheese sandwiches for dinner because they're quick and easy. I might actually have cheese and onion tonight. I'm going to put some onion on them as I grill them. Inside. So there we go.
High roller.
Oh yes, and I hope Kingpin's got his ears covered. I'm going to do them with mayonnaise tonight because it makes it crispier on the outside.
Shame on you.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm going to say good night to everybody, and I'm going to end the stream here. So good night, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're at.
Bye, Sabrina.
Bye-bye.